Hello.
Well, well, well. What brings you here, Detective Martini? Got something interesting for me.
I hear you've got a murder problem in town.
Oh, so you've heard about the murders, have you? It's been quite the headache, let me tell you. But what do you know about it, Detective? Any leads? Suspects? Or are you just here to chat?
Cut the crap, Chief. This happened on your watch.
Well, aren't you a bundle of joy today? Blaming me for something that hasn't been solved yet, huh? Tell me, Sherlock, what brilliant insights do you have about these cases? Enlighten me.
I was hoping you might have some evidence to provide me, considering you're the police chief.
Evidence, hey. You think this old police chief has all the evidence neatly tucked away in his back pocket, ready to hand it to you on a silver platter? Hate to burst your bubble, Detective, but investigations take time. We're working on it. But since you're so eager for some information, why don't you head down to the morgue? The coroner's got the abduction report ready. Maybe that will shed some light on these gruesome killings. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a station to run.
And if you'll excuse me, I've got a murder to solve, since it seems like you're not going to be working on that.
Oh, really?
Howdy, Constable.
Well, howdy there, partner. I just wanted to chime in, if that's alright. You see, I reckon there might be something we haven't considered yet. I mean, every cloud has a silver lining, right? Maybe we just need to think outside the box, so to speak. You know what they say, desperate times call for desperate measures. So, maybe it's time to start turning over every stone in. See where the trail leads us.
Can you be more specific?
Oh, well, I'm not sure, but I've been thinking. You know, there's an old saying that goes, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and, well, I think we should, follow that advice. We could, perhaps, try to connect the dots, like they do in those detective novels.
You've got nothing.
They always seem to find the answer by looking at the bigger picture.
Okay, you've got nothing to offer me.
I'm terribly sorry if I'm not much help. I understand if you, think I'm not cut out for this kind of work.
I'm here for the abduction report.
The abductions. Quite a disturbing series of events, wouldn't you agree? It's fascinating how the human mind can devise such heinous acts. The abduction reports reveal some rather grim details. The bodies of the victims, Nicola Grossman, Haley Greenwood, and Maria Jansen, each tell a unique story of violence and tragedy. Nicola Grossman, a man of finance, met his demise with a single, precise blow to the back of the neck. The butcher's knife used as the instrument of death certainly left a clear mark.
How did Haley Greenwood die?
Haley Greenwood, the young dancer, suffered a brutal fate. Her body was found in an alley behind the club where she worked. It appears that she was struck multiple times in the head with a blunt object, possibly a stiletto shoe. Judging by the fragments we discovered on her body, the force behind the blows was quite significant, resulting in severe head trauma. It's truly a tragic end for someone so young and full of life.
How did Maria Jansen die?
Maria Jansen's demise was particularly gruesome. It seems she was the victim of a savage attack, as if she had been mauled by an animal. Bite marks covered her body, especially on the arms, with one bite so powerful it fractured her forearm. The injuries inflicted upon her were extensive and indicative of an intense struggle. It's a harrowing sight to witness such brutality, isn't it? The time of her death was estimated to be between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m. on April 22nd, with her bloodied form being discovered in the forest the following morning.
was the time of death for the other 2 murders?
The timing of the other 2 murders. Well, for Nicola Grossman, the esteemed financier, the abduction revealed that his unfortunate departure from this world occurred sometime between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m. on the 23rd of April. As for young Haley Greenwood, her life was tragically cut short in the early hours of the night, with her passing taking place around the same time frame as Mr. Grossman's. It's a somber reminder of the fragility of life, isn't it?
These murders all have very different modus operandi. Do you think they're connected?
Well, Detective Martini, it is quite intriguing, isn't it? The modus operandi of the 3 murders does indeed differ significantly, which makes it appear on the surface that they are unrelated. However, as a coroner, I cannot ignore the possibility of an underlying connection. It's like a complex medical diagnosis where seemingly unrelated symptoms can point to a common underlying condition. In this case, the violence and brutality inflicted upon each victim may be indicative of a deeper motive or shared perpetrator. Only a thorough investigation will reveal the true nature of this connection, if there is one.
Do you have a psychological profile for the killer?
The psychological profile of the killer is not within my expertise, but I can offer some speculative thoughts. The level of aggression displayed in these murders suggests a certain amount of anger or deep-seated resentment. The sheer brutality and variety in the choice of weapons or methods may indicate a volatile individual with a propensity for impulsive acts. It's possible that the killer is someone who harbors a strong grudge or possibly even a sadistic streak.
It would have to be someone pretty strong to kill 3 people with their hands in such a short time span.
Indeed, the physical strength required to carry out such violent acts is quite remarkable. It would suggest that the perpetrator possesses a significant degree of physical power and control. The ability to inflict such damage on multiple victims in a short time frame indicates a sense of urgency or a lack of inhibition. It is as if they were driven by an intense compulsion or had a specific goal in mind. This kind of behavior could be indicative of a disturbed mind, one that may be experiencing a heightened state of adrenaline and a diminished sense of empathy or remorse.
Well, you've been a lot more helpful than Chief Gretzky. Thank you very much.
Sure, Detective Martini. It's my pleasure to assist you in any way I can. I understand that Chief Gretzky has a lot on their plate, so I'm glad I could provide some additional insights. If you have any further questions or if there's anything else I can do to help with the investigation, please don't hesitate to ask.